Exodus chapter 40. Then the Lord said to Moses, Set up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, on the first day of the first month. Place the ark of the covenant law in it, and shield the ark with the curtain. Bring in the table, and set out what belongs on it. Then bring in the lampstand, and set up its lamps. Place the gold altar of incense in front of the ark of the covenant law, and put the curtain at the entrance to the tabernacle. Place the altar of burnt offering in front of the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Place the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. Set up the courtyard around it, and put the curtain at the entrance to the courtyard. Take the anointing oil, and anoint the tabernacle and everything in it. Consecrate it and all its furnishings, and it will be holy. Then anoint the altar of burnt offering and all its utensils. Consecrate the altar, and it will be most holy. Anoint the basin and its stand, and consecrate them. Bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. Then dress Aaron in the sacred garments. Anoint him and consecrate him so that he may serve me as priest. Bring his sons and dress them in tunics. Anoint them just as you anointed their father, so that they may serve me as priests. Their anointing will be to a priesthood that will continue throughout their generations. Moses did everything just as the Lord commanded him.
出埃及记40，耶和华会幕的建立和奉献。耶和华吩咐摩西说：正月初一，你要立起会幕的帐幕，把法柜安放在里面，用幔子将柜遮掩，把供桌搬进去，摆设桌上的器具。又把灯台搬进去，点上灯，把金香坛安在法柜前，挂上帐幕的门帘，把燔祭坛安在会幕的帐幕门前，把洗濯盆安在会幕和坛的中间，在盆里盛水，又要在院子周围支起帷幔，把院子的门帘挂上。你要用膏油抹帐幕和其中所有的，使帐幕和一切器具分别为圣，就都成为圣。又要抹燔祭坛和坛的一切器具，使坛分别为圣，坛就成为至圣。要抹洗濯盆和盆座，使盆分别为圣。你要带亚伦和他儿子到会幕门口，用水洗身。要给亚伦穿上圣衣，又膏他，使他分别为圣，做侍奉我的祭司。又要带他的儿子来，给他们穿上内袍。你怎样膏他们的父亲，也要照样膏他们，使他们成为侍奉我的祭司。他们受了膏，就必世世代代永远得祭司的职分。摩西这样做了，耶和华怎样吩咐摩西，他就照样做了。
So the tabernacle was set up on the first day of the first month in the second year. When Moses set up the tabernacle, he put the bases in place, erected the frames, inserted the crossbars, and set up the posts. Then he spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering over the tent, as the Lord commanded him. He took the tablets of the covenant law and placed them in the ark, attached the poles to the ark and put the atonement cover over it. Then he brought the ark into the tabernacle and hung the shielding curtain, and shielded the ark of the covenant law, as the Lord commanded him. Moses placed the table in the tent of meeting on the north side of the tabernacle outside the curtain, and set out the bread on it before the Lord, as the Lord commanded him. He placed the lampstand in the tent of meeting opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle, and set up the lamps before the Lord, as the Lord commanded him. Moses placed the gold altar in the tent of meeting in front of the curtain, and burned fragrant incense on it, as the Lord commanded him. Then he put up the curtain at the entrance to the tabernacle. He set the altar of burnt offering near the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and offered on it burnt offerings and grain offerings, as the Lord commanded him. He placed the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it for washing, and Moses and Aaron and his sons used it to wash their hands and feet. They washed whenever they entered the tent of meeting or approached the altar, as the Lord commanded Moses. Then Moses set up the courtyard around the tabernacle and altar, and put the curtain at the entrance to the courtyard. And so Moses finished the work.
第二年正月初一，帐幕就立起来。摩西支起帐幕，安上带毛眼的座，安上板，穿上横木，立起柱子。他在帐幕的上面搭上罩棚，把罩棚外层的盖子盖在其上，是照着耶和华所吩咐他的。他把法板放在柜里，把杠穿在柜的两旁，把柜盖安在柜上，把柜抬进帐幕，挂上遮掩柜的幔子，把法柜遮盖了，是照耶和华所吩咐摩西的。他把供桌安在会幕内，在帐幕的北边，幔子的外面，把饼摆设在供桌上，在耶和华面前，是照耶和华所吩咐摩西的。他把灯台安在会幕内，在帐幕的南边，供桌的对面，并在耶和华面前点灯，是照耶和华所吩咐摩西的。他把金坛安在会幕内，幔子的前面，又在坛上烧芬芳的香，是照耶和华所吩咐摩西的。他又挂上帐幕的门帘，在会幕的帐幕门口安设燔祭坛，把燔祭和素祭献在坛上，是照耶和华所吩咐摩西的。他又把洗濯盆安在会幕和祭坛的中间，盆里盛水，以便洗濯。摩西和亚伦以及亚伦的儿子用这盆洗手洗脚。他们进会幕或走进坛的时候，就都洗濯，是照耶和华所吩咐摩西的。他在帐幕和祭坛的四围支起院子的帷幔，把院子的门帘挂上。这样，摩西就做完了工。
Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses could not enter the tent of meeting because the cloud had settled on it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. In all the travels of the Israelites, whenever the cloud lifted from above the tabernacle, they would set out. But if the cloud did not lift, they did not set out, until the day it lifted. So the cloud of the Lord was over the tabernacle by day, and fire was in the cloud by night, in the sight of all Israelites during their travels.
云彩和荣光，民 9.15-23。那时，云彩遮盖会幕，耶和华的荣光充满了帐幕。摩西不能进会幕，因为云彩停在其上，耶和华的荣光充满了帐幕。每逢云彩从帐幕升上去，以色列人就启程前行；云彩若不升上去，他们就不启程，只等到云彩升上去。在他们所行的路上，在以色列全家的眼前，白天耶和华的云彩在帐幕上，黑夜有火在云彩中。